up in the press box. That's like, man, you got to get down there on the starting gate someday.
Bringing out all the old schools. The 30 board goes sideways. 250 class from Washougal.
CRC getting a little sloppy there. It looks like he didn't get the hook up the way he normally does. And I think that is Joe Aloff, number 57 of the Subway MX team. Aloff with a whole shot. Rusty Holland in second. A couple of non-factory riders getting it done here in the first moto.
As the pack flows through in this beautiful Washougal track, it is Aloff getting the first glory out in front, and now Rusty Holland takes his line away. So as soon as we give props out to 57 of Aloff, Rusty Holland comes to the
See Wyndham coming in the picture at 6, but Wyndham plays better from the front. He's not a come from behind rider.
Well, we got to give props out to Rusty Holland, Joe Aloff going 1 and 2 right now, and Davey makes a good point, non-factory sport riders. And these guys are having a great show here at one of the most beautiful tracks in the world, Washougal, Washington. This is round number 8 of the Nationals. Ricky Carmichael just roosting through there.
Well, he's got some good ups on that bike. He's so small. He still looks small on a 450 to me. Todd, I've never seen him look more comfortable.
Well, he handles the bike. I mean, the 450 is not a small bike, and Ricky's not a big guy. And Chad Reed right there going, youngster. Anaheim, number 1, is quite some time away, and they're just starting to warm things up.
That was a nice little bang there, but you know what? That's an off-camera corner. Like it's kind of dark back there. And there Carmichael gets by cleanly backside. It's dark back there, so I have a feeling he wasn't sure where his braking point was. And yeah, give him a little tap and let him know that you're back on track. And Chad Reed comes right back.
There we go. That's the Chad we've been looking for. Here it is again. Watch Ricky on the inside.
You see Chad square then. I don't think Ricky was expecting that. His back wheel was locked up the whole time. Check it out. Reed's going to give him a little look over his shoulder like, hey, whoa, what's going on there? I thought we were going to wait till January.
Give Chad Reed credit. Incredible recovery at high speed.
And he comes back and passes him right back.
Maybe that's what Chad needs.
Yeah. Now they're starting to get up into the other rider. You see Aloff. Holland's still your leader. Aloff riding strong in second. Carmichael, I mean, when's the last time he got passed?
No question. I think that's what Chad needed, though. The Aussie anger, and Ricky comes right back, takes a much better line, gives him plenty of room, and Chad takes him wide.
Once again, Chad Reed coming back with an aggressive pass. Those are all clean passes. I'm very impressed by the way they ride. I know Mike Brown and Ryan Hughes might knock each other into the ocean at this point if it was those two guys.
Rusty Holland, your leader. Joe Aloff now sliding back to third. No, make that fourth to Chad Reed, and Ricky Carmichael is coming through. Reed's in second. Carmichael's in third, and keep your eye on that battle as Holland sits out in front.
This is the first national that we've seen Rusty up toward the front of the pack since Hangtown. He had a good start of the season, and I'm very impressed with him. I have a feeling it's not going to be long before these three guys come by, Reed, Carmichael, and Wyndham. Wyndham did do a good job recovering from that bad start, but Rusty Holland, it's his moment in the sunshine, his 15 seconds, I guess it would be.
Hopefully it lasts longer than that, but Kevin Wyndham doing a great job. I mean, just when we thought we counted Kevin out, just wasn't into the game, he comes storming back. He's had Washougal victories last year, really put it to Ricky, and Ricky's a motivated rider, wants to keep the streak alive, and Chad Reed, maybe that's exactly what he needed to get his head on.
Yeah, he might have got under Ricky's helmet there, passed him twice like that, at both times kind of aggressively. Now Reed's come on the inside. Looks like Rusty just went too far out. Gives up the inside, so Holland slips back to second. And I think he's going to let Carmichael go by too. Okay, it was 30 seconds.
I took a little long. Good done.
Good ride for Rusty.
Bottom line, the winner here are the fans, because we have got an epic one shaping up here in the front. Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed, a very motivated Chad Reed out in front, 22 on the Yamaha bike. Number 4, Ricky Carmichael on the Honda. And here comes 14, your winner last year, Kevin Wyndham.
Ricky got in the whoops faster this time. He tripled out into him, and Chad looks like he only doubled. So Carmichael's starting to reel that ground in already.
Can you be a dominant supercross rider and dominant motocross rider?
You'd have to ask Jeremy McGrath or Ricky Carmichael. It is possible, but it's tough to sustain it for a long period of time.
Kevin Wyndham now sits in third, joins the party. We've got a great one here at Washougal. Reed, Carmichael, Wyndham, Holland, and Aloff, top 5. And we are back to Washougal. Your leader right now, Chad Reed. Ricky Carmichael looks like he's getting set to take that line and take a bail cover. And look how close he cut that line when he went in front of Reed.
Man, that was a really nice move. He just kind of ran him out of real estate. That wasn't quite as aggressive as the other pass, but nonetheless, I think Chad Reed got another message there. Man, I can't wait for the Supercross season next year.
Get your tickets, folks. January 8th, Anaheim, #1. Unless you want to go to Europe, or actually it's been released it's going to be in Canada, Toronto and Vancouver. Those are the North American folks, very close.
Those are going to be good races too.
No question. But we are in motocross racing action right now. This is round number 8 of the AMA Chevrolet Motocross Championship. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs pulling double duty, working the pits and the booth. Always glad to have the founder and editor-in-chief of RacerX Magazine with us. Kevin Windham, though, back in the race, and this is exactly what he needed, Davey.
Yeah, he needs to get his confidence back up. It's been a long season for Kevin Windham, long in the sense that this is the first time he's pulled a full year since back in 2001, and that's when he kind of had his meltdown, and ultimately ended in an injury. And now I think that the months, the laps, the main events, the motos are starting to wear on him.
In 20th place, we go to Ricky Carmichael, who is our leader, and he is starting to check out in classic Carmichael fashion. Number 4 got a great start. Right now, let's check it in with Davey Coombs, who's with Mike Gosler.
Mike, another day at the office for you and the champ. Yeah, this is the one he really wanted to win pretty bad, so we're halfway through the day. Yeah, I know a lot. We always talk about riders making a transition from 2-stroke to 4-stroke, but you as a mechanic had to as well. How's that been? It's been pretty good. You know, the Honda 4-stroke's awesome to work on it. I've actually got a ton of 4-stroke experience back from the street bike days, so it's a lot easier than a street bike.
Shout-outs once again at the Tall Pines here in beautiful Washougal, the Pacific Northwest. He travels cross-country. And for what? The checkered flag at Washougal, Moto 1 winner, Ricky Carmichael. On the starting line. Meanwhile, Ricky Carmichael telling Chad Reed, hey, I really didn't mean to run into you, and hopefully Chad understands that. We'll talk to the winner after this break.
And the heat and humidity take its toll. It is going to be a survival mode for a lot of the riders. But for the ones that win, it's just going to be still who's fastest. That's what counts. Here comes RC out of the hole like a shot. And I think he's going to get the whole shot award. No, I'm not sure. He might have been passed before the white line.
It looked like he kind of hit the brakes and the back end swapped back on him. Someone else got it. Looks like Balby.
And the number 48 again, Gibson out in front position. And the top 5 have started to edge away just a little bit from the rest.
It's good to see all the players right there. You see Reed going into the lead. Carmichael's there. Millsaps is right behind him. So we've got a battle shaping up.
Gibson now back to second position as Chad Reed has taken the lead here. Ricky Carmichael third. So he's going to try to get by Gibson in the green jersey on a Honda. Chad Reed's your leader here at the presented by Yamaha Budds Creek National. Number 22, haven't seen him out front for a while. Ricky Carmichael's right behind him now. Gibson slips back to third and in danger of losing that. So Carmichael chasing Reed here on lap number 1.
Reedy pulls the tear off there. You know, most guys would say they'd like to be at this stage of a moto right behind a guy. They can watch his lines, and you have the advantage of not having the pressure on you to set the pace and sort of cover your line. But when it's Carmichael, you just want him behind you all the time. You get him in front of you, and it's hard to even keep him in sight. So I think Reed's in a good position right now. If he wants to race with Ricky, he's got him behind him.
Well, it's always an advantage to make the guy pass you in order to win the race. So Chad Reed is going to try to put a wide load sign on the back of that Yamaha, use up as much racetrack as he can, and of course maintain his speed. They weren't that far apart in practice times, nor particularly in lap times. It just adds up what Carmichael does to you over the course of all the laps in a moto.
Yeah, particularly at the end of the moto. You start to slow a little bit, just a second or two a lap. Ricky can sometimes get faster. He uses his fitness to his advantage. He learned that early on in his career, and he continues to use that. His fitness is his biggest weapon.
Not unlike a Stewart-Carmichael battle, the two leaders have pulled away from the rest of the field, making it look almost like a match race here at Budds Creek. Reed continues to lead Carmichael. That's how far back third is.
You can see up there at the top by the first turn, there's a bunch of little pebbles in the ground. It's just sort of a rocky little spot where there's not a lot of rocks in the rest of the track, but just right there. And that roost on the 450 with those little bits of gravel in it, man, that does not feel good. I even saw a couple little spots on Ricky's nose when he's on the podium there. Looks like he might have got hit. It's like someone shot him in the face with a little BB gun.
Probably feels like a machine gun nest coming up to meet you there at the top of that. So Chad Reed leading Ricky Carmichael and doing a pretty good job of it here as the Team Makita Suzuki number 4 is getting a little bit closer. It's going to be side by side, and there he goes reaching for the chin piece on the helmet again.
That's, oh!
Oh.
He almost went down right there.
Well, it just shows you it could happen. So it's not a foregone conclusion that either of these two men will win Moto number 2. And for Ricky Carmichael, trying hard, takes the outside line the long way around. Reed still gets a good drive off the corner and hangs on to the lead.
How hard must it be to just ride your own line and try to worry about your own lines and where you're going when you got Carmichael all over you like that? It's got to be so tough.
Chad Reed parks it. Carmichael draws up a little bit closer. Pretty much even drive off and up the hill. Reed still holding on to it over the top. 2 different ruts. And Chad Reed is your leader on the Yamaha. Here comes the Suzuki. Carmichael up inside. Nope, can't make it work there. They jump together. That's a great shot.
You can see them both scrubbing off that jump. You know, what that does is allow those guys to keep their bike's trajectory lower. If they hit it straight, the bike wants to just go up. If you turn your front wheel and lean the bike down, push into the ground right as you're coming off the face of the jump, chop the throttle, it throws the trajectory of your bike forward and out rather than up. Saves those guys just a fraction of a second, but doing that around the entire circuit over each jump saves you a second, 2 seconds a lap. So a lot of that sideways stuff is not for show. It's actually to shave lap times off.
Get the wheels back on the ground quicker. You can steer and get on the gas just that much sooner as well. So it is important. While air is a big part of motocross, it's on the ground where the steering and driving is done. Here's our Toyota leaderboard. Reed holds off Ricky Carmichael at Budds Creek. Moto number 2. And they have pulled away from the rest by a significant margin. Chad Reed's mechanic pretty happy with the situation right now.
It's good to see Reedy putting in a strong ride, riding with a lot of heart. He doesn't want to let Ricky by. You got the Yamaha guys all out clapping and cheering, and you can tell he's pushing, just riding the edge of the lines and scrubbing jumps. You can just see him pushing harder than he has been at other times this year.
So Chad Reed on the 22 Yamaha, Carmichael on the number 4 Suzuki, and they are very close together here. Moto number 2. Carmichael looking around the outside. This is a chance for him to do it. Bigger drive up the hill would get it done, but no, there's not enough time to get to the next right-hander. Reed's still there. Boy, they throw a lot of dirt at those big 4 strokes.
Now, Ricky's got to get sick of eating that. I mean, like I said, it hurts and it ruins your goggles and it makes a mess of your face and your gear and just it's miserable. So when you're all over a guy like that, you want to get by him. You need to either give yourself a little cushion so his roost isn't blasting you, like Dick Cheney on a hunting trip, or get by him. You know, do something quick.
He's up behind him right now, but the turn is just too slow. Now it's an uphill drag race, a little bit of air, another scrub. Boy, these guys are putting on a show. I'm going to have to admit I didn't think it would last this long.
Well, you got to hand it to Reedy. He's riding awesome. A lot of people just assumed this would be a snoozer with James gone, but Chad's stepped up, and he's going to give Ricky a run for it today.
Carmichael still looking for a way around that blue bike. In the air, he makes up some ground. It's going to be a right-hander coming up next. Reed's blocking that. This is an off-camber turn here. Up the hill again, another drag race against gravity.
It's so hard to stay focused when you keep seeing a front wheel pop in, inside here, outside there. It makes you want to start cutting your lines, shortening them up a little bit, blocking the inside. And when you do that, you lose momentum through the turn, you lose speed, and your lap time will drop. And then Ricky's all over you even more. So you just can't win when you got him all over you like this.
Carmichael still trying hard to stay out of the roost and make a pass. Those are two very difficult things to do at the same time. He's inside a block. Oh, that looked familiar.
Wow.
Bang! And Ricky Carmichael is your leader.
I don't even think he had separated from Chad, and he grabbed the tear off in the gear, and he was gone.
So Ricky Carmichael with a little bit of contact. Won't call it a rude move, but it was definitely forceful. And I think he wasn't being patient. He just couldn't get around Chad Reed until right then.
Yeah, I think Reed was just riding that well, that there was no place else for him to make a pass, and he had a little bit of a gap. You could see Chad came into the turn a little wide, and Ricky was right there, so he took it. You can't give RC that much room.
Now the question is, does Chad Reed have any fight left in him to try to bring it back?
And Ricky's made a couple of mistakes this year. Went down at Hangtown, went down at Southwick. You know, if you're Reedy, you try to stick right with him, make him continue to ride a fast pace, and maybe he bobbles and goes down, you get the win. You get the overall on the day.
Well, the course is getting awful torn up, and something different might present itself around the next corner here. The ruts are getting deeper, the berms are getting softer and higher, and things are definitely changing. Whoa, big air there. And Carmichael on his way. We think perhaps to another moto win, but you never know. Here at Budds Creek or in a Motocross National in general. Things can and have happened this season, mostly to James Stewart. As Carmichael leads, we're going to get another look at the pass.
Yeah, Reed just goes a little wide. I mean, he didn't leave a ton of room, but he went out to that berm, and Ricky just got in, and I gave him a little bump, pushed him outside the line, and that was it.
An NHL hip check. He might laugh at it, considering that he wasn't injured. But Ricky Carmichael, you know, he will put the scare in you like that. He'll put the mojo on you when he comes by.
Yeah, he definitely freaked that dude out. He was going straight. I didn't see any reason for problems there, and all of a sudden he was cartwheeling across the finish line.
And hanging on for dear life. That was a Bronco Billy ride of the highest order, but Carmichael is putting on a show here for the fans. Yes, it's all alone. He's looking back, looking around, and maybe planning his victory move at this point. It's going to be a nice big wheelie, and Ricky Carmichael will go no hands across the line. 1-1, take both motos in the overall. He keeps his undefeated streak here at Budds Creek Motocross Park alive in the finest way possible.
Well, he's mentioned through the season that he's had a tough time struggling to get his rhythm. Chad, it looked as though you were able to get your rhythm here this afternoon.
I told you guys I was been working on it, and it's definitely a little better. You know, I struggled on my starts this weekend, and man, I was horrible, but I was always somewhat pretty good out of the first turn and second turn, and then just strong for the first four. And man, I'm real happy about that. You know, like I said, Ricky's the guy, and you know, led a few laps, felt good, held on a little bit, and I'm just super pumped to get out there and actually see the lead, you know, the whole race.
C won the race.
I almost had the whole shot, but somebody drilled me from behind, and man, I wanted it wholly, but you know, that's the way it goes. Made a lot of improvements on the bike today with the way it's working, so super happy and looking forward to a weekend off in Redbud.
Bit of an aggressive pass on Chad Reed. Explain that.
Yeah, you know, this track is just, there's one line, it's like cushion, you know, and I tried to be as nice as I could, but it's hard to do it at that level.
Congratulations on yet another victory.
Thank you.